Massive alien ships appeared suddenly in the skies above human colonies, their dark hulls reflecting the light of distant stars. People on countless planets looked up in fear as enormous shadows blocked sunlight and artificial city lights flickered beneath their presence. No human fleet could match the size or power of the aliens. Their ships moved with frightening precision, cutting through space like knives. At first, humans thought it might be peaceful first contact. But that hope vanished within hours. Alien vessels opened fire on cities and space stations without warning. Entire fleets of human defense ships were obliterated within minutes. Panic spread across the galaxy as reports of destruction reached every corner. In a matter of days, worlds that had thrived for centuries were reduced to smoking ruins. Governments fell. Communication networks were destroyed, and citizens were forced to flee or hide. On many planets, people gathered their families and valuables, fleeing underground shelters or remote areas. But the aliens were relentless, scanning planets with advanced sensors and destroying anyone who resisted. Humanity had never faced an enemy like this. Their weapons and strategies seemed useless. The aliens were not just conquering for land or resources. They appeared to be taking control of every aspect of human life. Their movements were organized, calculated, and terrifyingly efficient. Entire cities vanished as alien forces established control. Humanity was forced to watch as planets they had called home for generations were taken. People whispered about the alien commanders, creatures said to be beyond human imagination. Their forms were rarely seen, but their influence was felt everywhere. Fear became a daily companion for every survivor. No one knew who might be next. Scientists and military leaders struggled to understand the aliens' technology. Even the brightest minds could not figure out the energy sources powering the massive ships or the weapons that disintegrated human vessels instantly. People realized that hiding might be their only chance. Communities moved to remote planets, hidden moons, and deep space stations, but even these places felt unsafe as the alien patrols expanded. Rumors spread of entire fleets disappearing without a trace, as though the aliens were ghosts who could strike anywhere. Children cried in shelters while parents tried to reassure them, knowing their words were weak against the reality outside. The speed and scale of destruction stunned humanity. No one had anticipated such an overwhelming force. Yet even in fear, small acts of courage appeared. Some pilots attempted to engage the aliens, sacrificing themselves to save civilians. Others risked transporting survivors through dangerous asteroid fields. Every tiny act of resistance became a spark of hope in an otherwise dark universe. People began documenting every alien movement, every weapon, every strategy they could observe, hoping that understanding the enemy might offer some chance to fight back. Communication between hiding colonies became a lifeline, sharing information, supplies, and warnings about alien patrols. Despite their losses, humans refused to surrender completely. They adapted quickly, learning to move in silence, avoid sensors, and survive in hostile environments. Families relied on each other more than ever, and communities formed strong bonds. Humanity was forced to grow stronger, faster, and smarter than ever before. Even as fear consumed many, determination and resilience quietly took root. The alien arrival was sudden and merciless, but it revealed something crucial about humans. That even in the darkest hour, they could find courage, ingenuity, and hope. The galaxy had changed forever, but humanity had not vanished. They were hiding, learning, and preparing, ready to face the incomprehensible threat with whatever they could muster. Every day was a struggle to survive, but within that struggle, humanity discovered the seeds of a future where they might not only survive, but rise. The aliens had conquered worlds, but the fight for the future had only begun. Humanity, though battered and fearful, was not defeated. They were watching, learning, and dreaming of a day when they could strike back and reclaim what was theirs. Survivors of the alien attacks scattered across hidden planets, remote moons, and deep space stations. They lived in fear, yet they knew they had no choice but to adapt to survive. Makeshift shelters were built underground, abandoned colonies were converted into safe havens, and secret bases in asteroid belts became the new centers of human life. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers came together, forming small communities that could share resources, knowledge, and protection. Every day was a struggle to gather food, water, and energy. But people worked tirelessly, knowing that their survival depended on cooperation. Children learned quickly to live in these harsh conditions, growing up faster than any generation before. Humans became skilled at moving silently, avoiding alien patrols, and using camouflage to hide even from the most advanced sensors. Communication between hidden colonies was dangerous, but it was vital. Messengers and encrypted transmissions kept communities informed about alien movements, attacks, and opportunities to scavenge useful technology. Despite the constant fear, small victories gave hope. A group of humans managed to retrieve a damaged alien scout ship from a distant planet. Studying its systems gave engineers insight into alien technology. They learned how energy shields worked, how their weapons fired with devastating accuracy, and even how to jam communication signals temporarily. Veterans trained younger humans in survival tactics, guerrilla warfare, and strategic thinking. Every lesson was a mix of life-saving skills and hope for the day they could strike back. Engineers and scientists did more than just survive. They began secretly building new ships and weapons. Using scavenged alien tech combined with human ingenuity, they designed vessels faster and more agile than the aliens expected. Weapons that could disable drones or shields were crafted in hidden workshops. Every prototype was tested carefully in secrecy. Humans learned to coordinate attacks with precision, planning every detail to avoid detection. Families shared stories to keep morale alive, recounting past human achievements and imagining a future free of alien control. Even simple things like music, books, and games were preserved, reminding humans that culture and humanity must survive alongside their physical lives. The sense of community strengthened, and people found courage in numbers. Every new survivor that arrived added to knowledge, skills, and hope. Humans discovered that fear could be turned into strength, as it sharpened instincts and pushed them to be faster, smarter, and more creative. The older generation shared lessons learned from history, teaching the young how empires rise and fall, and why persistence, intelligence, and adaptability were keys to survival. Scientists worked around the clock to understand alien biology, studying captured drones and analyzing signals. Every discovery, no matter how small, could be the difference between life and death. Humans began mapping alien patrol routes and routines, learning when and where it was safest to move. Every planet, moon, and asteroid became a potential stronghold or hiding place. Survival was not just physical, it was mental and emotional. Communities held meetings to plan, share fears, and make decisions collectively. Everyone had a role, and no one was too small to contribute. Humans became masters of improvisation, turning everyday materials into shields, weapons, and tools. Even a broken ship or a damaged robot could be repurposed into something useful. As months turned into years, humans grew stronger, more organized, and more determined. What had started as scattered, terrified survivors became a network of resilient communities. Each day brought new challenges, but also new lessons. Humans understood that surviving the aliens was only the first step. They were building something greater, a foundation for rebellion, for reclaiming their worlds, and for conquering the future. Even in hiding, humans found moments of joy, friendship, and love, proving that their spirit could not be destroyed. Each sunrise over a hidden colony reminded them that life continued, and with every day, humanity's strength quietly grew. The aliens may have conquered the visible worlds, but humans were conquering themselves, learning patience, strategy, and unity. In the shadows of the galaxy, humanity prepared, trained, and evolved, readying themselves for the moment when fear would turn into action and survival would turn into victory. A small group of human scientists discovered an abandoned alien outpost on a distant, forgotten planet. The structures were unlike anything humans had ever seen, made of materials that seemed alive, pulsing faintly with energy. At first, the scientists were cautious, unsure if the place was still active or trapped. But curiosity and hope pushed them forward, and they began exploring the ruins in detail. Inside, they found dormant machines, strange devices, and data cores containing knowledge far beyond human understanding. Some of the tech seemed broken or deactivated, yet its potential was clear. It was as if the aliens had left behind pieces of a puzzle, waiting for someone clever enough to use them. Working secretly, the scientists began studying the alien machinery, learning how it harnessed energy, manipulated gravity, and controlled weapons with precision. They discovered ways to modify human ships and weapons using the alien tech, creating tools that could give humans a fighting chance against the invaders. The team realized that knowledge alone was a weapon, and every breakthrough was a step toward reclaiming their freedom. News of the discovery spread quietly among hidden human colonies, shared through encrypted messages and trusted couriers. It became a symbol of hope, showing that humans were not powerless, that even against an enemy who seemed unstoppable, intelligence and ingenuity could turn the tide. Engineers worked tirelessly, combining alien designs with human technology, producing prototypes of advanced ships capable of stealth, speed, and resilience far beyond previous human capabilities. They developed new weapons that could disrupt alien shields, jam communications, and even disable drones without direct confrontation. Every experiment carried risk, and every failure taught humans valuable lessons. Teams tested new systems in remote asteroid belts and hidden planets, avoiding alien patrols. Each successful test brought exhilaration and renewed determination. As humans worked, military strategists studied the technology to develop new tactics. They realized that humanity's advantage would not come from brute force, but from clever planning, unpredictability, and unity. The discovery inspired young recruits to join the effort, eager to learn and contribute. Training became more advanced, focusing not just on survival, but on using new technology strategically. Older veterans shared their experiences, mentoring the next generation of human leaders. Within months, the network of scientists, engineers, and soldiers formed a coordinated resistance. While the aliens occupied visible worlds, humans were secretly preparing a counterattack. The alien technology gave them a glimpse of what was possible, showing that the future could belong to those who dared to think differently. Families and communities supported the effort, providing resources, shelter, and moral encouragement. Even in the darkest times, hope spread through stories of discoveries and secret victories. The outpost became a hub of innovation, a place where human ingenuity met alien knowledge. Scientists debated, experimented, and imagined new possibilities. Every breakthrough strengthened the sense that humans were capable of more than survival, that they could reclaim not only their worlds, but their destiny. The team realized that patience was crucial, that rushing could alert the aliens and destroy their advantage. So humans worked carefully, planning for the day when they could strike with precision and confidence. Small victories, like successfully hacking a drone or testing a shield-penetrating weapon, became celebrated milestones. Reinforcing unity and boosting morale across hidden colonies, humans began sharing knowledge between different survivor communities, creating a web of information, ensuring that every colony, no matter how remote, could contribute to the greater effort. The idea of resistance became real and achievable, fueled by technology, strategy, and human determination. Even the youngest children were taught to observe, learn, and understand the alien systems, preparing a new generation to continue the fight. The discovery changed humanity, shifting the focus from mere survival to planning for a future where they would no longer be hunted. They realized that the key to defeating the aliens was already in their hands, hidden in the ruins and waiting to be unlocked. Every day, humans grew bolder, more skilled, and more united. Their efforts transforming scattered survivors into a powerful, intelligent resistance. The aliens may have believed they were in control, but humanity was quietly mastering the tools to challenge them, to fight back, and ultimately, to conquer the future. Humans launched their first strikes with careful planning, choosing isolated alien outposts and supply lines as targets. Each mission was small but precise, aiming to damage the aliens without risking unnecessary human lives. Pilots navigated through asteroid fields, hidden nebula, and abandoned space stations to reach their objectives. Every movement was calculated based on weeks of observation and stolen data from alien patrols. Stealth became their greatest weapon, allowing humans to strike without being detected. When attacks began, the aliens were shocked, unprepared for resistance from a species they had considered weak and scattered. Human ships, smaller and faster, darted between the massive alien vessels, using modified weapons to disable shields and disrupt communication. Entire alien convoys were thrown into chaos, giving humans a psychological advantage as well as a tactical one. Civilians watched from hiding places as daring pilots struck quickly and vanished. Each success inspired hope, sparking courage in places that had only known fear. Engineers monitored missions from hidden stations, providing real-time data and adjusting tactics on the fly. Every failure became a lesson, teaching humans how the aliens responded and how to exploit weaknesses. Communities celebrated small victories, knowing that each strike proved humanity could fight back. Even sabotage missions, such as derailing supply convoys or jamming communication relays, became monumental successes. The aliens underestimated humans, assuming their fear would prevent action. But instead, humans turned fear into cleverness and courage. Guerrilla tactics became a standard as humans attacked where the aliens felt safe, using hit-and-run strategies to minimize risk and maximize impact. Pilots and soldiers became experts in deception, creating false signals, decoys, and ambushes that confused alien commanders. These small-scale victories sent a clear message: humanity would not submit silently. Human strategists combined intelligence from multiple colonies, coordinating simultaneous strikes across different sectors, stretching alien forces thin and creating openings for larger operations. Every mission brought new knowledge of alien technology, fleet formations, and patrol routines. This intelligence was crucial, helping humans develop better weapons, defenses, and strategies. Young recruits learned quickly, inspired by the bravery of veterans. Every new pilot, soldier, or engineer added strength to the growing resistance. Communities maintained morale through stories, songs, and celebrations of these victories, preserving humanity's spirit even in the harshest conditions. Some missions risked everything, sending humans into direct confrontation with alien garrisons. But careful planning, teamwork, and advanced technology allowed them to succeed more often than expected. These actions disrupted alien supply chains, slowed their expansion, and created doubt within alien ranks. The perception of invincibility surrounding the aliens began to fade, and that shift in belief strengthened human resolve. Hidden colonies became training grounds, preparing more humans to join the fight. Each success reinforced the belief that humans could reclaim their worlds. Resistance networks spread across the galaxy, linking hidden communities, ensuring that even isolated groups could contribute to the effort. Information about successful strikes was shared discreetly, boosting morale and teaching new tactics. Engineers improved weapons after each mission, modifying ships to be faster, more agile, and more resilient. Every design was tested in simulations and small-scale operations. Humans learned to exploit alien weaknesses, such as energy fluctuations in their shields, predictable patrol routes, and limited response times. The first strikes were not just military actions. They were statements, showing that humanity, though oppressed, was clever, resourceful, and dangerous. Each victory, no matter how small, strengthened the bond between communities. Pilots who returned alive were celebrated as heroes, inspiring new volunteers to join the struggle. As months passed, human attacks became bolder and more coordinated, targeting key alien installations and reclaiming minor territories. The aliens, for the first time, faced a species that refused to be subdued. Every strike taught humanity patience, strategy, and the power of unity. Small acts of courage multiplied into a force capable of challenging an empire. The galaxy began to feel the first tremors of change, and humanity, once hiding in fear, started to rise with precision, intelligence, and determination, preparing for a future where they could take back their worlds and ultimately conquer the stars. The aliens struck back with overwhelming force, launching massive attacks on human strongholds. Entire colonies that had barely begun to recover from earlier raids were hit with precision and brutality. Explosions rocked hidden bases, supply lines were destroyed, and communication networks were severed. Panic swept through human settlements, forcing survivors to retreat to deeper hiding places. Yet even in the face of devastation, humans adapted quickly. Learning from each attack, they studied alien tactics, movements, and weapons. Engineers worked tirelessly to modify ships and weapons, improving shields, engines, and firepower to withstand the next assault. Survivors developed contingency plans, creating multiple escape routes, emergency shelters, and decoy installations to confuse alien forces. Small teams became experts in reconnaissance, scouting alien patrols to anticipate strikes. Every loss taught humans something new about their enemy. Strength and resilience grew from necessity as they turned setbacks into opportunities for improvement. Communities shared resources and knowledge, ensuring that even after a devastating attack, life could continue and resistance could endure. Young recruits trained under harsh conditions, learning to survive, fight, and innovate quickly. Human ingenuity became their greatest weapon, allowing them to survive assaults that would have crushed less resourceful species. Engineers reverse engineered damaged alien equipment, discovering ways to enhance human technology beyond previous limits. Weapons that could disrupt alien shields, engines, or sensors were developed and tested in secret. Pilots adapted to new tactics, using speed, stealth, and coordinated attacks to exploit weaknesses in the alien formations. Even when entire fleets were destroyed, humans learned to rebuild faster, improving their designs with each iteration. Communication networks evolved, relying on encrypted channels, decoys, and messengers, making it nearly impossible for the aliens to track human coordination. Every challenge strengthened human bonds, as communities realized survival depended on trust, cooperation, and shared purpose. Older veterans shared their experiences, teaching young humans not just to fight, but to think strategically, anticipate enemy movements, and remain calm under pressure. Scientists focused on understanding alien energy sources, propulsion systems, and weapon designs. Every breakthrough allowed humans to predict alien behavior and prepare countermeasures. Human tactics shifted from reactive to proactive, planning ambushes, coordinated strikes, and sabotage missions that minimized human risk while maximizing impact. Civilian morale, though shaken by attacks, remained resilient. Stories of bravery and small victories were shared to inspire hope. Even damaged ships and weapons were salvaged and repurposed, showing that humans could make something powerful from nothing. Retreating human forces learned to use terrain, asteroid fields, and hidden routes to their advantage, turning the aliens' technological superiority into a manageable challenge. Hidden colonies became hubs of innovation and strategy. Every survivor contributed, whether through engineering, piloting, intelligence gathering, or logistical support. Humans developed flexible strategies, allowing them to adapt quickly to unexpected alien maneuvers. Even when losing territory, humans used the time to strengthen defenses, train new recruits, and prepare for future counterattacks. The aliens realized that humans were no longer a passive population, but a cunning and adaptable opponent. Each failed alien assault revealed cracks in their control, boosting human confidence. Resistance leaders coordinated efforts across multiple systems, sharing intelligence, technology, and tactics, creating a unified network capable of striking at will. Engineers refined propulsion systems, energy shields, and weapons, producing ships that could evade detection, withstand heavy fire, and deliver precise attacks. Human pilots became masters of evasive maneuvers, ambushes, and long-distance strikes, using the aliens' predictability against them. Even under constant pressure, humans continued to innovate, developing ways to counter new alien weapons and strategies almost as quickly as they appeared. Communities celebrated small victories, remembering that survival was an achievement in itself. Over time, setbacks no longer discouraged humans, but became lessons in resilience, strategy, and adaptation. Every attack, no matter how devastating, fueled determination, sharpening skills and focus. Humans realized that the key to eventual victory was patience, intelligence, and unity, not brute force alone. Even in retreat, humans left behind traps, false signals, and ambushes, making it costly for aliens to conquer every new settlement. Every clash, every battle, and every escape built experience, turning scattered survivors into a coordinated, cunning resistance. Slowly, humans were no longer simply surviving. They were preparing to strike back in ways the aliens had never imagined. Every day of struggle, every lesson learned, was a step closer to reclaiming their worlds. The aliens may have responded with fury, but humanity's resilience, ingenuity, and determination were growing stronger than ever. Humans discovered ancient vaults on a remote, forgotten planet, hidden beneath layers of rock and ice. The structures were enormous, made of materials that glowed faintly and seemed almost alive. Inside, humans found technology far older and more advanced than anything either they or the aliens had ever seen. Ships capable of jumping across vast distances in an instant, weapons that could disable entire fleets, and energy systems that seemed limitless. Scientists and engineers were amazed, realizing that the key to turning the war in their favor lay within these vaults. They carefully studied every device, every control panel, and every piece of data, knowing that a single mistake could destroy everything. Teams worked day and night, combining the ancient technology with their own inventions, creating hybrid systems far beyond previous human capability. Pilots trained on simulations of the new ships, learning how to maneuver with unprecedented speed and precision. Weapons were tested in secret, capable of penetrating alien shields, jamming communication, and disabling drones from a distance. Every success gave humans more confidence. Every discovery inspired hope across hidden colonies. Humans realized that the ancient tech was not just a weapon, but a way to understand the universe on a deeper level. Gravity manipulation systems allowed ships to move unpredictably, making them difficult targets. Energy cores provided almost unlimited power, allowing humans to sustain long campaigns without supply lines. Scientists even discovered ways to tap into alien communication frequencies, allowing humans to intercept messages and anticipate enemy movements. Training became more intense, with pilots, soldiers, and engineers learning to operate and maintain the new technology simultaneously. Older veterans taught strategy, improvisation, and patience, ensuring that humans would use the technology wisely. While the aliens were focused on controlling visible worlds, humans quietly mastered the secrets of the ancient vaults, preparing for a moment when they could strike with overwhelming advantage. Communities contributed by gathering resources, constructing facilities, and supporting operations in every way possible. Even children learned the basics of energy management, navigation, and problem solving, so that every human could play a role in the future. The discovery changed the human perspective, shifting the focus from survival to dominance. Humans were no longer simply hiding, they were evolving, becoming a species capable of challenging the alien empire. Coordination between colonies improved as knowledge from the vaults was shared securely. Encrypted transmissions ensured that no alien could intercept the information. Engineers refined propulsion systems, weapons, and shields, creating ships that could outmaneuver and outfight alien fleets. Pilots practiced daring maneuvers through asteroid fields and gravity wells, mastering techniques that would make them almost untouchable in battle. Scientists explored the alien data cores, learning about alien weaknesses, energy consumption, and fleet organization. Every new piece of information increased human confidence and sharpened their strategies. The ancient technology also inspired hope and determination among civilians, showing that humanity could not only survive but thrive. They began envisioning a future where humans controlled their destiny, free from alien domination. The vaults became secret centers of learning, innovation, and training. Every operation was meticulously planned, ensuring that the aliens would never anticipate human strength. Small victories, like successfully activating an ancient weapon or maneuvering a ship through dangerous terrain, were celebrated quietly but with great pride. Humans realized that the fight would not be won by force alone, but by knowledge, strategy, and ingenuity. The ancient vaults offered all three, allowing humanity to leap ahead technologically. While the aliens believed their empire was secure, humans were quietly preparing a counterattack that would shock them. Patience became a key virtue as humans tested every system, learned every control, and perfected every tactic. The combination of ancient tech and human innovation made every mission more precise and every strike more deadly. Communities across the galaxy followed progress in secret, morale rising with every success. Humanity was learning that they could control not just survival, but the rules of war itself. Every day spent in the vaults strengthened resolve, sharpened skills, and increased unity. The aliens had never imagined that humans could find such power hidden in the galaxy. Now, humans had the tools, knowledge, and courage to challenge the Empire, and the stage was set for a decisive strike that would change the fate of every world. Humans, armed with ancient technology and their own modified ships, launched a coordinated assault on major alien strongholds. Every operation was meticulously planned, using knowledge gathered over years of observation. The human fleets moved with speed, precision, and stealth, appearing suddenly where the aliens least expected them. Entire alien patrols were destroyed in moments, their ships disabled before they could even respond. Human pilots executed daring maneuvers, weaving through asteroid fields, nebulae, and planetary rings to strike critical targets. Every strike focused on supply depots, communication hubs, and energy cores, weakening the alien infrastructure. Engineers monitored operations from hidden stations, providing real-time support and adjustments. Weapons tested in secret now performed flawlessly, disabling alien shields, jamming communications, and neutralizing drones before they could react. Human strategy combined intelligence, technology, and timing, overwhelming alien defenses with unexpected precision. Each liberated world became a base for further operations, providing supplies, recruitment, and morale boosts. Civilians who had lived in fear for years now watched as their oppressors were pushed back. Hope spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Resistance networks coordinated attacks across multiple sectors simultaneously, stretching alien forces thin, forcing them to respond to multiple threats at once. Human scouts intercepted alien transmissions, allowing strike teams to avoid ambushes and exploit weaknesses. Each battle taught humans more about alien behavior, fleet formations, and technological limitations, allowing future operations to become faster and more effective. Communities in liberated areas helped repair damaged ships, provide intelligence, and support the resistance effort. Every human, from engineer to pilot to civilian, played a vital role in the campaign. Young recruits inspired by these victories trained faster, gaining confidence and skill with each mission. The alien perception of invincibility began to crumble. Their leaders were caught off guard, unable to anticipate the clever tactics and technological innovations of humans. Even isolated planets began supporting the resistance, secretly providing shelter, supplies, and information, creating a network that the aliens could not detect or destroy. Human forces coordinated simultaneous strikes on key alien installations, disabling energy grids, destroying fleet command centers, and liberating occupied cities. Each successful operation created momentum, building the belief that humanity could win. Pilots became masters of evasive combat, using speed, stealth, and long-range precision attacks to dominate engagements. Engineers continued to refine weapons, shields, and propulsion systems, improving efficiency and lethality with every battle. Scientists analyzed alien systems in real time, predicting movements and weaknesses, giving humans the tactical edge. Every liberated world became a symbol of human resilience and ingenuity, inspiring other colonies to rise and join the fight. Resistance leaders shared lessons learned, training new recruits to think creatively and act decisively, making the human forces stronger and smarter after every engagement. Even in the midst of combat, humans maintained coordination, discipline, and strategy, turning each encounter into a calculated step toward ultimate victory. Communication networks allowed for instant updates, ensuring that every strike was synchronized and supported. Civilians in liberated areas became active participants, providing intelligence, logistics, and morale, making humanity not just a fighting force, but a united species. Humans used deception and misdirection, creating false signals, decoys, and ambushes that confused alien fleets, maximizing damage while minimizing human losses. The alien command began to fracture, unable to control multiple fronts simultaneously. While they still held some territories, their morale was shaken by repeated failures and unexpected resistance. Human victories inspired even the most hesitant survivors to rise, strengthening the ranks of the resistance and expanding the reach of their influence. The assault continued relentlessly, targeting every strategic point, weakening alien control and reclaiming planets. Each victory reinforced the belief that the future belonged to humans, not aliens. By the end of the campaign, entire sectors had been liberated. Alien forces were in retreat, and their empire showed cracks that had never existed before. Humans realized that intelligence, unity, courage, and innovation could overcome even the most powerful enemy. The galaxy watched as humans, once nearly annihilated, rose with precision, skill, and determination, reclaiming control over their worlds and proving that they were no longer victims but masters of their destiny. The aliens, battered and defeated, began to retreat. Their massive fleets scattered across the galaxy, struggling to regroup. Humanity had reclaimed world after world, their hidden colonies now emerging as centers of hope and rebuilding. Cities that had once been smoldering ruins were slowly restored, Engineers, scientists, and civilians worked tirelessly to repair infrastructure, power grids, and transportation systems. Human fleets patrolled liberated sectors, ensuring that no alien forces could return unchallenged. The sense of victory was tempered by the memory of loss, but determination to rebuild and protect was stronger than ever. Communities came together, sharing resources, knowledge, and skills to create a new era of cooperation. Schools reopened, teaching children both traditional subjects and the skills needed to thrive in a galaxy that had once been ruled by fear. Pilots and soldiers trained the next generation, passing on knowledge of strategy, combat, and survival, ensuring that humanity would remain prepared for any future threat. Scientists continued to study alien technology, learning from it to advance human society. Energy systems, propulsion, and weapons were improved, not for war, but for exploration, colonization, and protection. Diplomacy became a focus as humans established alliances with liberated worlds, fostering trust and collaboration across previously isolated sectors. Trade, culture, and communication flourished. Rebuilding was not just physical, but emotional, as people sought to heal from years of fear, loss, and oppression. Memorials were built to honor those who had fallen, reminding humanity of the cost of freedom and the importance of unity. Leaders emerged from the resistance, guiding colonies with wisdom gained from survival and combat. Their decisions balanced security, progress, and hope for the future. The galaxy itself seemed to respond to human resurgence. Planets once silent and lifeless began to thrive under human care. Agriculture, industry, and infrastructure advanced rapidly. Empowered by ancient technology and hard-earned experience, humans were able to achieve feats that had once seemed impossible. Exploration beyond known space resumed, with humans seeking new worlds to settle and learn from. Curiosity, intelligence, and courage became the defining traits of humanity. Their story spread across the stars, inspiring even distant civilizations that had watched humanity struggle. Proof that a species could rise from near extinction to mastery of its destiny. The former alien empire, fractured and weakened, no longer posed an immediate threat. Humanity's victories had demonstrated strategy, unity, and ingenuity as their greatest weapons. Civilian life returned, but with a renewed sense of purpose and vigilance. Every citizen understood the importance of knowledge, preparation, and cooperation. The alliance of human colonies became stronger than ever. Coordinated governance, technology sharing, and cultural exchange created a network that could withstand any future challenges. Humans had not only survived, they had evolved, combining experience, courage, and advanced technology into a society capable of shaping the galaxy. Freedom was cherished, but it was accompanied by responsibility, as humanity now had the power to protect itself and others. The lessons of the past were never forgotten, reminding every generation that vigilance, unity, and innovation were keys to lasting peace and progress. Scientists and engineers continued to push boundaries, developing new forms of energy, faster ships, and safer habitats, preparing humanity for the next era of exploration and discovery. Art, music, and culture flourished, celebrating resilience, bravery, and the triumph of life over oppression. Humanity had learned that survival was only the beginning. The true conquest was the creation of a future defined by choice, intelligence, and hope. Across liberated worlds, people looked to the stars with optimism, knowing that they were masters of their own fate, capable of defending freedom and building a society where fear no longer ruled. New colonies were established on distant planets, guided by the wisdom gained from years of struggle and resistance. Humanity now had the technology, knowledge, and determination to thrive anywhere in the galaxy. The alien conquest had failed, but in its place, a stronger, smarter, and united humanity had emerged, ready to explore, defend, and shape the future. Every human, from the youngest child to the oldest veteran, shared in the knowledge that they had conquered not just survival, but destiny itself. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of a species that refused to be broken, and humanity would carry that strength, courage, and vision forward into every new star system they reached.